Good morning. Welcome all of you for the today's class. With regard to discussions, what we had yesterday on transmission angle of four-bar mechanism. Uh, I hope you understood the significance of the transmission angle. Okay, can anyone summarize the yesterday's discussion, Pa?
So to formulate the how to find the minimum and the maximum angle of motion of four bar.
Okay, in four-bar mechanism, we discussed how to find out the minimum and maximum transmission angle. So, what is the need for finding out this? And what is the range in which the transmission angle should be available so that we can transmit our motion effectively? Okay, I hope you understood the meaning for or significance for the transmission angle. That is, if it falls between 45 to 90 degree, okay, the motion will be effectively transferred to the output link, that is rocker. Okay, if it is in line 90 degree, so that your force vector and velocity vector will be in line, so that whatever may be the force you are applying, that will be converted into velocity. So definitely it is highly impossible to define or design such a mechanism always having 90-degree transmission angle, but within the range we can design, okay, 45 to 90 degree, so that without any disturbance we can transmit the motion effectively. So that is the main significance of transmission angle. Let me quickly discuss about this particular problem and how to find out the minimum and maximum transmission angle for this particular mechanism. Hope you understood what are the different components of the four-bar mechanism. Here, the link AB is called small a, that is a crank. So it is your crank, and link BC is mentioned as B, so that is your coupler, and link CD is your rocker, which is mentioned as C, and link AD is called frame, okay, which is a fixed link, which is nothing but your frame. Okay, for understanding, let me give some dimensions for this. So for crank, let me give the dimension as 1 meter or 1 centimeter. Okay, we take it 1 centimeter, and coupler 3 centimeter, coupler 3 centimeter, and rocker 2 centimeter, and frame once again it is 3 centimeter. Okay, now what are the possible approaches that we can follow for finding out the minimum and maximum transmission angle? How we can obtain the minimum and maximum transmission angle? What are the approach we discussed yesterday?
Graphical and analytical methods, sir.
Exactly. So we two approaches we discussed. One is graphical and another one is analytical. Analytical in the sense using formulas. So graphical is very simple to proceed, as analytical for every mechanism or every configuration we need to develop certain equations. For simple case we can use the analytical formulas. As we know the cosine formulas for those things, and if it is some offset conditions or inclined conditions, for those we need to derive. So in that case you can use the graphical approach for your examination purposes. So let us proceed both cases for this particular problem. So first let me approach graphical approach. Let me follow the graphical approach. So when your minimum transmission angle will occur, எப்பப்போ minimum transmission angle கிடைக்கும்?
0 degree, sir.
0 degree.
Which one?
So crank is 0 degree.
Yes, crank வந்து 0, that is it is in line with the frame. Okay, அந்த கேஸ்ல you will be getting the minimum transmission angle, and when it is 180 degree with the frame, it is you will get the maximum transmission angle. Okay, first graphical approach la you need to draw as per scale. Okay, as per scale வரைஞ்சிட்டு then you need to measure what is the minimum and maximum transmission angle. So first let me proceed with the frame. So I know what is the dimension of the frame. So that is 3 centimeter. First I need to draw a 3 centimeter line. Okay, first I'm going to proceed with minimum transmission angle followed by the maximum transmission angle. Okay, So minimum transmission angle வரையறதுக்கு my crank and frame should be aligned. Okay, so the angle between the crank and the frame should be 0 degree. So I need to draw the frame which consists of 3 centimeter. Okay, you know how to draw a 3 centimeter line, and followed by I'm going to draw a crank of 1 centimeter line. Okay, from here I'm going, this is 3 centimeter, this is 3 centimeter, and from here I'm going to draw a 1 centimeter line. Okay, so this is my end point of crank. So this is my A, and this is my D, and this is my B. Okay, which means that your crank is in line with the frame. Okay, so your B point is here. From here, from B, you know what is the dimension of C. Okay, what is the coupler length pa? What is the coupler length?
3, sir.
3 centimeters.
3.
Okay, from B as center and 3 centimeter as radius, you draw an arc. Okay, similarly from D a center and 2 centimeter as radius. Okay, because the rocker length is 2 centimeter. So take D as center and rocker length 2 centimeter as radius, draw in another arc to cut this previous arc, so that you will be getting the point. What is this point? The point is that, yes, you will be getting point C. Now you connect point B with C, so that this is your coupler. Okay, and you connect point C with D, this is your rocker. So in this condition you will be getting, if you measure using any scale, okay, if you measure the scale, that is angle, so you'll be getting what?
Minimum transition.
Yes, minimum transmission angle you will be getting. Okay, so it will give the minimum transmission angle. Then followed by you need to find out the maximum transmission angle. அப்படின்னா உங்களுக்கு எப்படி என்னப்பா கண்டிஷன்?
சார் ஃப்ரேமோ கிராங்கோ parallel இருக்கும்.
Yes, it will be in line, but the angle, yes, if the angle between the frame and crank will be 180 degree measured,
180 degree.
Yes, measured anti-clockwise. Okay, so for example, so this is your frame. Okay, frame, that is point A and D here. So from here you draw crank of 1 centimeter length. So this is 3 centimeter, this is 1 centimeter. So the angle between the frame and crank measured anti-clockwise direction is 180 degree. So this point is what you are? So this point is your B point.
B.
Okay, so B. So from B, take the length of coupler as radius and B as center, and you make an arc. Okay, make an arc so that you will be getting this particular arc. And similarly, D as center and rocker length as radius, and make an another arc. It will cut the previous arc. So what is this point?
C, sir.
Yes, C you will be getting. So now you connect B with C and C with D. Okay. Now what angle you will be getting?
Maximum transition.
Transmission angle.
So whatever angle you are getting, it is maximum transmission angle. You need to use your compass, protractor or mini drafter for measuring the angle between these two lines, that is coupler and rocker. So in order to get the minimum and maximum transmission angle, so it is one approach. It is graphical approach. It is very simple. In any case, you can follow the graphical approach. It is up to you. Okay, for the same problem, let me use the analytical approach also. Okay, so how to someone is unmute, please mute pa. Okay, so how to proceed with the analytical approach? We need to write the cosine law. Okay, for the first case we need to write the cosine law. So how to write the cosine law pa? So first of all, tell me what mechanism it is, what type of mechanism it is. For any case you need to
crank rocker mechanism, sir.
Okay, first you need to check the condition and then tell. Okay, so what is the condition? What is the rule we are going to use for checking that?
Precepts.
Okay. Okay, now tell me a condition. Some of the shortest plus longest links should be less than or equal to other two links. Correct or not? So which is shortest?
Sir, crank.
Crank, sir.
Largest, we are having two links. It is frame and coupler. Both are 3 centimeters. So anyone you can take. So 1 plus 3 should be less than or equal to other two links. Other two links 2 plus 3.
Please.
Correct. So the condition is satisfied. So it belongs to what category?
Case of
Type 1, sir.
Type 1 Grashof linkages. Grashof linkages. Okay. Then what is the link which is fixed? Pa?
Frame is
Link,
fixed.
sir. D, sir.
So
Frame.
what mechanism you will be getting? Pa?
crank rocker, sir.
Yes.
Crank and rocker.
Yes, exactly correct. Crank rocker mechanism you will be getting, in which crank is your A, link A, and rocker is your C. Okay, so crank rocker mechanism. This is very, very essential for every problem. You need to understand this one. Okay, now tell me how to write the cosine law for first case.
சார் கே அது ஏசில இருந்து ஒரு கே நம்ம டிரா பண்ணோம் சார்.
No, equation. Okay, equation for the cosine law of the minimum transmission angle.
A square plus B square minus 2AB cos.
Okay, first one you need to consider this triangle, correct? BCD triangle. Okay, in the triangle consider what is the side for this one? BC evolva 3 centimeter. This one 2 centimeter.
2 centimeters.
This one what is this one?
2 centimeters, sir.
Okay, that is 3 minus 1, correct? So this particular portion BD is nothing but 3 minus 1, that is 2 centimeter. Exactly correct. Okay, now we need to write the cosine law, that is first in the BC square. BC evolva 3 centimeter. So 3 square, okay, plus another side CD. CD is 2 centimeter. So 2 square minus 2 into 3 into 2. Okay, 2 BC. Okay, BC and CD. BC is 3 and CD is 2. Multiplied by cos gamma. That is equivalent to what? That is equivalent to the opposite side. In the angle mu minimum opposite side. Opposite side is how much?
2.
Yes. 2 we can write, or 3 minus 1 the whole square. Any form you can write. Okay. If you simplify, tell me what is the angle you are getting. Pa? Simplify this equation and tell me what is the angle you are getting. I hope all of you have your scientific calculator. Tell me the value for mu.
41.4, sir.
Exactly correct, ma. 41.4 degree. I'm sorry, it is not mu, it is gamma. So in some textbooks it is followed as mu, some textbooks it is followed as gamma. So notation is immaterial, so you can use any notation. That is gamma minimum. So gamma minimum is 41 degree. So you know how to proceed the same problem with graphical approach. You please make a cross check whether you are getting the same values. Similarly, for the maximum transmission angle also, you can write the same cosine law, that is 3 square, okay, 3 square plus 2 square minus 2 into 3 into 2 cos gamma is equal to, now opposite side. What is opposite side now? The angle opposite side enna paipom? It is a bigger triangle now. Okay.
1 plus 3 whole square, sir.
Yes, 1 plus 3 the whole square. So earlier it is 3 minus 1 the whole square. Now it is 1 plus 3 the whole square. That is the only difference. So other things are same. Okay, so BC square plus CD square. BC is your 3, CD is your 2. Nothing going to change except the opposite side. Opposite side is now 1 plus 3. Okay, 1 plus 3 the whole square. Now you calculate the gamma value, that becomes maximum transmission angle, that is equal to how much?
One not 4.48 degrees, sir.
104.48.
48.
so make it 5 degree. Okay, so this is your gamma max. So if you use this mechanism, you will be getting the minimum transmission angle is 41.4 and maximum transmission angle is 104.5. So your gamma is varying between 41 to 105 degree. Okay, so இந்த மெக்கானிசத்தில் உங்களோட டிரான்ஸ்மிஷன் ஆங்கிள் வந்து 41 105 வரைக்கும் வேரி ஆகிட்டே இருக்கும். So hopefully this will give a better transmission of motion to the rocker, because it is ranging between 41 to 105. If it is less than 30 or less than 20, definitely it becomes ineffective, whereas 41 to 105 is more effective. Okay, nearly it approaches 90 degree. Okay, 40 to 105 is very good transmission angle range, so that you will be getting the effective transmission of motion. Okay, any clarifications required? Shall we proceed or?
Yes, sir, you can proceed.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now you can able to understand what is the transmission angle you are getting. So what is the condition actually it is? What is actually it is this condition? Your this is your crank. So this is your crank, and the whole setup is your frame. So both are in line, correct? But the angle between these two is 0. Now what angle between the coupler and rocker you will be getting?
Minimum, sir.
Minimum. So in the case you will be getting gamma minimum. Clear? This case.
Gamma maximum.
Maximum.
So from frame your crank is making 180 degree. So in the case you will be getting the maximum transmission angle. Maximum transmission angle you will be getting. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Next, another terminology that I'm going to explain, that is toggle position. Okay, so toggle position is nothing but so in these two cases we know. So we are more aware that when your crank is in line with the frame, you will be getting the minimum transmission angle. When the crank is at 180 degree with the frame, then you will be getting the maximum transmission angle. Then we are having two more situations where your coupler and your crank are in line. Okay, so if you consider this particular case, your coupler 2, okay, is in line with the crank. Okay, the 2 and 3 are your coupler and crank respectively. So these two are in line. Okay, during the rotation of your cam, that is crank, during the motion of all the linkages, this is another situation that you come across. Similarly, further rotation of your crank will make the another situation where your coupler and crank are in another are in line. Okay, so for example, in this case, these two are like this, so that it becomes 180 degree, and in this case these two are in line, but these two are in line, it merges with each other. Okay, now so what type of that is what is the name actually it holds when this condition is prevailed? So this particular position is called as toggle positions. Okay, toggle positions. You can call it as toggle position when your coupler and crank are in line with each other. Okay, so what is the significance of this toggle position? Okay, please let me show the video so that you can understand what is happening actually. Please clearly observe what is happening when the toggle position is achieved. toggle position ஆகும்போது what is happening to the rocker? Please observe this carefully. Okay, so this is one toggle position, correct or not? Your coupler and crank is in line. So at this position, what is your position of rocker?
ஃபுல்லா லெஃப்ட் சைடுல இருக்கு சார்.
Yes, to the extreme position of left side. Okay, so further rotation of the crank, please observe, it leads to further rotation of the crank, it leads to movement of your rocker to the right side. Okay, இதுக்கு மேல left move ஆகாது. Once the toggle position is reached, okay, this is the toggle position. இது reach ஆன உடனே what is going to happen? Your rocker is going to rocker is reached the left extreme position now. Then beyond that, it is not going to move left side. Then it starts moving right hand side. Please observe this. Is it correct? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now you look at this is another toggle position. Slightly, I did not pass it correctly. So assume it is the toggle position. Now what is the position of your rocker?
எக்ஸ்ட்ரீம் ரைட் சார்.
Extreme right போயிடுச்சு. So further rotation of your crank leads to movement of your rocker to the left hand side. So please observe this. Is it correct?
எஸ்
Yes,
சார்.
sir.
Okay, that is what mentioned in this PPT. Yes, so this is the one toggle position. This one toggle position. So in this position, your crank rocker is at the rightmost position. So then it further rotation of the crank, it will start moving towards left. Okay, towards left hand side, enagum move ஆக ஆரம்பிக்கும். So this is another toggle position. In this position, your rocker is at the leftmost position. So further rotation of the crank leads to movement of your rocker to the right hand position or clockwise direction. Now, what is your interpretation from this? What is your interpretation?
ஸோ டாகல் பொசிஷன்ல தான் சார் அது டைரக்ஷன் சேஞ்ச் ஆகுது.
Yes, toggle positions தான் direction change ஆகும். Beyond the toggle position, it starts the changing the direction of rotation. That is, the rocker is changing the direction of rotation. So that toggle position oda significance இதுதான். Is it clear? Is it clear?
சார்.
Yes, sir.
Now I am going to introduce another term that is called mechanical advantage. So already we defined what is mean by transmission angle as per this slide. So now I am going to introduce the term called mechanical advantage. So it is also another indices of merit. Okay, so one indices of merit, yesterday we discussed about the transmission angle, and the another indices of merit is called mechanical advantage. What is indices of merit? What is mean by indices of merit, pa? Yesterday I told it is like a measure of performance, okay, or measure of output, or how effectively it works. So that is the measure. Like a engine we are measuring the performance with the help of efficiency. Likewise, measuring the performance of a given mechanism or a system which uses the mechanism is called transmission angle and mechanical advantages. So either which we can define how it is effective. So mechanical advantage is another indices of merit that we are going to use. So mechanical advantage, as far as the mechanism is concerned, it is nothing but the output power ratio of output power to the input power. So what is the input power, pa? What is input power?
எஃப்
Input power is nothing but what? Motor power. So what prime mover we are using, so that generates the input power. So output power is nothing but how much power we are able to extract from the mechanism, okay, from the out rocker side or output link side. Okay, so ratio of output link power between the output link to the input power is called the mechanical advantage. So further expanding, what is power actually? Power is equivalent to torque into omega. Okay, suppose if you are applying the force on this side, so how much torque it is generated. The torque in the sense how much force it is acting and what distance. So that is nothing but your torque multiplied by omega. What is omega?
And
Angular velocity.
Angular velocity. It is nothing but 2 pi n by 60. The formula for angular velocity is 2 pi n by 60. So torque into omega of the output link divided by torque into omega of the input link will give you a mechanical advantage. So I'm going to make one simple assumption, provided that input power is equal to output power. So on what basis it is going to occur? When the system or mechanism is having no frictional force, no inertia torques, inertia forces. In that case, your input power will be equivalent to output power. But practically it is not possible, but for sake of understanding or sake of study, we are making some assumptions. So input power is equivalent to output power. So your mechanical advantage will be equivalent to 1. So T naught by Ti will be equivalent to omega I by omega naught. So the ratio of output torque divided by input torque will be equivalent to the ratio of input angular velocity to the output angular velocity, output link's angular velocity. So this formula is applicable for to measure the mechanical advantage of the given mechanism. So இன்னொரு formula இருக்கு, that is mechanical advantage is also equivalent to C sin gamma divided by A sin beta, where C and A are your link length. So C is your output link, that is rocker, and A is your crank. So gamma is your transmission angle, and what is beta?
coupler angle.
Yes, coupler angle. Coupler angle is nothing but the angle between your coupler and crank. So this particular angle. So this is your beta. So as far as mechanism is concerned, we are going to mainly focus on transmission angle, because beta, that is coupler angle, is least significant. But for finding out the mechanical advantage, we are going to use this formula. So I leave it to you to understand how this equation is arrived. So it is a derivation actually. You can refer the textbook. For time being, you can make a note of this: C sin gamma divided by A sin beta. With this formula also, you can able to find out what is the mechanical advantage of the mechanism. Now tell me, what is the angular velocity of the output link at the toggle position? So we know that in toggle position, so this image, so this is your toggle position. So in the toggle position, what is the angular velocity of your this rocker? This omega 4. Okay, link 4. It is mentioned as omega 4. It is angular velocity of the output link. So in this toggle position, what could be the angular velocity of the rocker? Similarly, in this toggle position also, what is the angular velocity of the rocker? So this is omega 2, because crank is denoted as link 2. Here also, angular velocity of the crank is omega 2. In the case toggle position, what could be the angular velocity of the rocker?
Sir, minimum.
Minimum in the sense 1 is also minimum, 2 is also minimum.
சார் ஜீரோவா இருக்கும் சார். ஏன்னா இது சேஞ்ச் ஆகுதுல்ல சார், டைரக்ஷன் சேஞ்ச் ஆகும்போது டப்புனு ஸ்டாப் ஆகி தானே சார் போகணும்.
Exactly correct. Who told?
ஹரிஷ் சார்.
Okay, exactly correct. Thank you for the answer. So because in the toggle position, it is reaching the extreme conditions. So that's why toggle position is called limiting position or extreme position. So எல்லா நேமும் யூஸ் பண்ணிக்கலாம் இதுக்கு. Toggle positionல your rocker is going to reach the extreme position and it is going to change its direction. So at this position, definitely your angular velocity will be 0 in the toggle position. So அதுக்கப்புறம் further rotation la you will gain the velocity. So during toggle position, at this if you take a snapshot, then definitely your angular velocity of the rocker or output link is going to be 0. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I think we come to the end part of the first CO. Okay, first CO, as already I mentioned, it is CO1. It consists of basic mechanisms and basic definitions. Basic mechanisms and basic definitions. And second part of the CO1 is synthesis. Okay, the first part is almost going to be over by today with the completion of simple mechanisms that we are going to discuss now, and followed by we are going to start the second part of the CO1, that is synthesis. Okay, so now we move on to the simple mechanisms. The first mechanism what I have shown is Chebyshev mechanism. So if you look at how many links are there, how many links are there in this mechanism?
4, sir.
4, sir.
Yes, L1, L2, L3 is in blue color, and L4 again. So 4 links we are having. And if you fix a point, okay, fix a pen on the midpoint of the coupler, so it is going to trace a straight line. Is it correct? So that's why it is called straight line motion. So it is going to trace the straight line. As far as this lengths are concerned, in the length of the mechanism, okay, so if you affix a pen or pencil in the midpoint of the coupler, it is going to trace a straight line. So this particular mechanism is called Chebyshev mechanism. So next mechanism is called Hooken's mechanism. It is also a 4-bar mechanism. The previous also a 4-bar mechanism, and this also a 4-bar mechanism. But அங்க வந்து கப்ளரோட மிட்பாயிண்ட்ல கப்ளரோட மிட்பாயிண்ட் வந்து traced a straight line, whereas here the coupler is extended. Okay, extended line of the coupler is your Hooken's mechanism. So it is tracing some portion of the curve is straight line, and the rest of the portion is called some curvic portions. That is used for producing some straight lines. The third one is Robert mechanism. So look at how many links we are having here.
4, sir.
Yes, exactly correct. L1, L2 is a what type of link it is?
Ternary.
It is a ternary link.
Ternary link, sir.
Yes. L3 is rocker, and L4 is your frame. So L2 oda coupler oda end point is nothing but the point P. Assume it is in the floor la some activities edavadhu mari pannanumna, it is going to trace some straight lines. So if this is the case, your ternary link of coupler is going to trace a straight line on the floor, then it becomes what? Robert mechanism. Then this is another mechanism called Watt's mechanism, but it is also a 4-bar mechanism. So L1, L2, L3 are the links, binary links, and L4 is the frame. So midpoint of the coupler is tracing some curvic portion, where if you look at the frame, it is in some offset conditions. So frame order L1 is connected somewhere here, and L3 is connected somewhere here. So in the my case, it is tracing some curve portion. It is called Watt's mechanism, but it is not curve. Something, it is like a straight line. Actually, majority of the curve is equal to straight line. Then it is partially exact straight line mechanism. So look at how many links we are having here. How many links, pa?
4.
Sir.
Check it and tell.
4 links, sir.
Hello,
5, sir.
5. 4, 5.
Sir,
both are
mood, sir. Or
exactly correct.
sir, or
8 links.
quadrennial link, sir.
Sir, 8
It is
இருக்கு
not
sir.
quaternary
quaternary.
link. Because quaternary link, all points should not move relative to each other. அந்த 4 ரெட் கலர்ல இருக்கப்ப அந்த 4ம் ஈச் ஒன்னுக்கு ரிலேட்டிவா நகரக்கூடாது. தட் இஸ் quaternary link. பட் இதுல பாத்தீங்கன்னா each and every red color lines are binary link because it is moving relative to each other. Okay, so if you take a quaternary link, okay, if you give some motion with respect to this point, these two should not have relative motion. Okay, இத பொறுத்து இது மூவ் ஆகக்கூடாது, இத பொறுத்து இது மூவ் ஆகக்கூடாது. But look at the red color links, they are relatively moving, no? Then it is not a quaternary link, it is a binary link. Please try to understand. Now tell me how many links we are having here.
8 sir.
Yes, red colorல 4 lines இருக்கு, 4 binary link, 2 green color, then ஒரு blue color and ஒரு frame. So totally 8 links we are having. So it is used for tracing a straight line in the vertical direction. And it is also hard mechanism. So here also we are having how many links? 8 links, correct?
Yes sir.
8
Sir.
links we are having. It is used to make straight lines, vertical straight lines. So these are all very simple mechanisms that existing for tracing straight lines. So here if you look at the motion of crank, it is very continuous, correct or not? The input link is continuously rotating, whereas we are having certain motion mechanisms that is intermittent. So ratchet and pal mechanism, as you aware in the diploma itself, it is a intermittent motion mechanism. So ratchet wheel is going to rotate in anti-clockwise direction or clockwise direction, whereas the motion of pal is intermittent. But motion of the ratchet wheel is continuous. It is continuously rotating, but the motion of the pal is intermittent. So இந்த மாதிரி மெக்கானிசம் எங்கப்பா பார்த்துருக்கீங்க? Pal and ratchet mechanism.
Sir, well, sir.
எங்கப்பா? Wellsல, okay. So in machine tools, what is the machine it is?
Radial drilling.
Shaping.
Shaping mission, sir.
Shaping machine. Shaping machine இந்த இடத்துல பார்த்தீங்கன்னா you can observe the ball and ratchet mechanism. So what is the need for the mechanism here, pa?
Automatic feed, sir.
Automatic feed to what?
Feed to tables.
Table. Okay, cutting tool இங்க ஃபிக்ஸ் பண்ணியிருப்போம். Okay, cutting tool வந்து இப்படி ட்ரான்ஸ்ஃபர் இப்படி கட்டிங் ஸ்ட்ரோக் முடிஞ்சோன்னா ரிட்டர்ன் ஆகும். ஒன்ஸ் ரிட்டர்ன் ஆகி அடுத்த இது ஸ்ட்ரோக் எடுக்கிறதுக்கு முன்னாடி இந்த டேபிள் என்ன ஆகும்? ஃபீட் ஆகும். The table will move along this longitudinal direction. So this for making this particular motion, you can use this ball and ratchet mechanism. So Geneva mechanism, okay, it is used for indexing. If you look at the red color portion, red color link, it is having a pin-like arrangement. The motion of the red color is continuous, whereas when the pin is in engagement with the blue color disc, then only the blue color disc is getting the motion. So it is intermittent motion. Whereas input link, that is red color, is continuously rotating. Here also this green color link is your input link and the red color link is your output link. So a pin-like arrangement is protruded in the green color link. When it is in engagement with the slots provided in the red color link, then it gets motion. So to some extent it will be moved. After that it will be stationary. So இதெல்லாம் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா indexing mechanism யூஸ் பண்ணிக்குவோம். So turret lathe indexing, then while gear cutting, so the gear blanks are to be rotated to some degree. So for that we are using indexing mechanisms. You can quickly go through other mechanisms. So what is this mechanism, pa? What is the name for this mechanism? It is mentioned here itself.
Pantograph.
It is called pantograph linkage. It is a beautiful mechanism. What is your observation from this mechanism?
Heart shaped also, sir.
Okay. How many links it is having, pa?
4, sir.
What are they?
One end is one.
Yeah, let me. My question is how many? Here we have 5 linkages. 5 links. One is frame, okay, frame is here, and two equal length longer links, they are Turner links, because we are having 3 motion points, and 2 binary links of equal length. Okay, rendu Turner link of equal length and 2 binary link of equal length. So this the beauty of this mechanism is, whenever you are getting you are giving some input at a particular location. So this is the location where you are giving input. Okay, so inga enna input kudukrீங்களோ, the same motion will be magnified and drawn or produced in enlarged scale. So that enlargement will depend upon the size of the length of the links that you are going to use. Okay, so in this case its magnification will happen because of the motion which is given at the input link. Okay, so in the particular input la in the curve kuduthina, the same curve will be magnified and it will be drawn in the magnified view at the output link. Okay, each and every point in this particular mechanism is going to trace the same curve. Okay, but the size is going to vary, so we can extract wherever you require. So that is the beauty of this pantograph linkage. So what is this mechanism, pa? It is like a stamping mechanism. Okay, so here you can observe a frame. Okay, frame like arrangement. So here one lever, this is link 2, this is frame link 1, and this green color is another link 3, which is attached to the stamping head. Stamping head is not a link because it doesn't move anywhere. It is going to move along with the stamping head. So it is link 3 is a stamping link, and this is your stamping head. So by applying some force on the link 2, your link 2 and link 3 will be in parallel. Okay, so that the particular operation is going to happen. So it is called we can call it a stamping mechanism or toggle mechanism. So what is the mechanism it is?
Universal joint, sir.
Universal joints or hook joints. So what is the use of this hook joint?
ஒரு ஆங்கிள் நம்ம பவர் டிரான்ஸ்மிட் பண்ணலாம் சார்.
Yes, if you know what is meant by flange coupling, Oldham's coupling, இதெல்லாமே படிச்சிருப்பீங்க already. So flange coupling normally it is used for transmit power from one shaft to another shaft which are in line. Okay, you are having one shaft here. Okay, one shaft here, you are having another shaft here. Okay, if it is in line, the flange coupling is used for transmitting power from this shaft to this shaft. What is the purpose of Oldham's coupling? Oldham's coupling or purpose enapa? So when the shaft is here, another shaft is here, so there is some shift. Okay, so in the shaft oda axis ku some shift irunduchina, then it will take care of power transmission. That is Oldham's coupling. Then this universal joint or hook joints are used for taking care of both radial shifting as well as the axial shifting or inclined mismatch. Okay, for example, where it is used, where this particular mechanism is used, hook joint.
Propeller shaft, sir. The propeller shaft.
Okay, it is used to connect the output of the gearbox and the differential. Okay, to transmit motion from the gearbox to rear wheels through differential. So you can, the animation is not working. Hope you are aware this mechanism, correct? And the next mechanism is sheet metal shearing mechanism. So knowingly or unknowingly, you know these are all the machines that you might be used, where these all consist of different mechanisms. And door closers. Okay, so door closer, this is frame, and this is another link, this is third link, and this is fourth link. There is a 4-bar mechanism. And this particular portion, okay, the portion which is, you can see, it is also a 4-bar mechanism. It is a backhole excavator. So if you consist of that particular portion alone, it is a 4-bar mechanism. Then brake of wheel chair. So this portion, you can see, it is a 4-bar mechanism. Then folding sofa. So you listen this particular portion. It is a 4-bar mechanism. Okay, so I think it is over the first part. Any doubts?
சார் இன் டாகல் மெக்கானிசம் அந்த பிக்சர் ஒரு நிமிஷம் போடுங்க சார். சார் அதில் ஃப்ரேமுக்கும் லிங்க் டூக்கும் இன்டர்மீடியேட்டாக இன்னொரு லிங்க் இருக்கும் இல்லைங்க சார்?
This one. Yes. This one. Yes, it is also a 4-bar mechanism.
ஓகேங்க சார்.
Okay, it is correct only. But it is an integral part. That green color is an integral part, where here we are using a small portion. Another blue color la theriyudhu illaya, that is another one. It is correct. Very good. So next we move on to the second part of the CO1. So first part is the basic mechanisms and basic definitions that we covered. Okay, except inversions of single slider and double slider. That is left to you for taking care of the self-study or for assignment presentation portion. And the second part of the CO1 consists of synthesis. Okay. So before that, we discussed the basic overview about the mechanisms. Okay, mechanisms, as we know, it is all about studying the various links, motion characteristics, etc. So in this, in kinematics part, we discuss about displacement, velocity, and acceleration. Okay, so what is meant by displacement analysis, velocity analysis, and acceleration analysis? If you consider a 4-bar mechanism, so it is as we know, it is a crank, coupler, then it is rocker. You should not forget, that's why I repeatedly tell the names for all these things. It is frame. Okay, so if you consider this 4-bar mechanism, the name called displacement analysis or velocity analysis or acceleration analysis, the meaning is displacement analysis is nothing but for a given known displacement. A crank is we know that crank is going to be given input. Okay, for the known displacement, for example, this B is going to move somewhere here, B dash. It is having some displacement from B to B dash. What is going to happen for my C? C is going to move from here to here or here to here, or what displacement it is going to cover. Okay, so it is C to C dash. So for a given displacement of input link from B to B dash, what is going to happen for my C to C dash? Next I am going to give some incremental. So B dash to B double dash, another known displacement to the crank, and I am going to observe what is going to for my rocker. So this analysis is nothing but your displacement analysis. So what is the need for displacement analysis? What is the need for doing displacement analysis? Suppose if you are developing a mechanism, your rocker is your output. Okay, rocker is going to cover how much area? For example, your left extreme position of your rocker is this one. Assume this is your left extreme position of your rocker, and this is your right extreme position of your rocker. Okay, so it is going to cover from here to here. So this area it is going to cover. So by doing that is the displacement analysis, you are able to identify what is the area of the links that is going to cover, and how much space which is required for the mechanism, or work volume required for this particular mechanism, that you are able to identify from the displacement analysis. Is it clear? So link crank வந்து எவ்வளவு தூரம் rotate, எவ்வளவு ஏரியா கவர் பண்ணுது ஸ்பேஸ், அண்ட் சிமிலர்லி கப்ளர், ராக்கர், ஸோ எல்லாத்தையும் ஸ்டடி பண்ணுறது தான் டிஸ்பிளேஸ்மெண்ட் அனாலிசிஸ். இது நீங்கள் பண்ணிங்கன்னா தான் நீங்கள் ஒரு மெக்கானிசத்தை கொண்டு போய் ஒரு இடத்துல ஃபிட் பண்ணுறீங்க. ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள், யூ டெவலப்டு a 4-bar மெக்கானிசம் ஃபார் யுவர் கார் விண்ட்ஷீல்டு வைப்பர் சிஸ்டம். அப்படிங்கிற பட்சத்தில் அது எவ்வளோ, அந்த காரோட அந்த கிளாஸ் எவ்வளோ ஏரியா கவர் பண்ணணும், எல்லாமே யூ நீட் டு டிஃபைன் வித் த ஹெல்ப் ஆஃப் டிஸ்பிளேஸ்மெண்ட் அனாலிசிஸ். Okay, so each and every mechanism kandipa you should start with displacement analysis, then followed by the velocity and acceleration analysis. And what is the rate at which your wiper or output link is moving, at what velocity and what acceleration. So these are also very, very important aspect that we need to proceed, followed by the displacement analysis. So first of all, we should have a mechanism, and for that we need to do all these analysis, that is displacement, velocity and acceleration analysis. So what is the need for this mechanism? What is the need for this mechanism? Definitely whatever mechanism that you are developing, it is going to serve some purpose, correct or not? 4-bar mechanism for windshield wiper system, it is used for wiping your car glasses, and single slider crank mechanism is used for IC engines or compressors. So whatever mechanism you are developing, it serves some purposes. So always we are in need for doing some work. So for that the mechanism is being developed. So adu pannanumna we need to first synthesize the mechanism. Okay, synthesize in the sense what dimensions of the link you are having and what type of mechanism is suitable for your application. For example, car windshield wiper system 4-bar mechanism is suitable, and single slider crankchain mechanism also suitable, or any other mechanism is suitable, but you need to identify which mechanism is more appropriate for your requirement, or based on certain constraints, space constraints irukkalam, or force constraints irukkalam, any constraints irukum, but what the mechanism is going to be more appropriate or more apt for your requirement or application, that you need to study, and how many links you are going to use for that. Okay, whether it is 4 link or 5 link or 6 link or 10 link. So everything needs to be studied in the synthesis part. And what is a dimension? So please listen, in this we are designing the length alone. Okay, it is not full design of your mechanism. We are going to concentrate only the length of the links. It is not the complete design. So synthesis in the sense we are finding the length of the links. So what should be my crank length, what should be the coupler length, what should be my rocker length, and what should be my frame length, and so on. So these are all the things you are going to taking care in the synthesis part. But analysis part is secondary, and synthesis part is we are doing different things in this. What we are doing next? After doing synthesis and analysis, okay, once the mechanism is being developed, we move on to dynamics part. Okay, dynamics part la enna pandrom? What we are doing in dynamics part? So at the end of the mechanism, so in the edathila vandu we are able to find out what is the mechanism, and what are the link lengths, and what are the motion characteristics. We know what is the velocity, what is the acceleration, everything we know at the end of this one. What mechanism we are using, okay, what mechanism we are using, how many links we are having, what type of pair we are using, whether lower pair or higher pair, okay, in a type of joints we are using, everything we decide at the end of this one. So a complete mechanism is ready with all these parameters. Okay, that is a mechanism. Followed by we are doing dynamic analysis. So dynamic analysis, as I told in the very introduction class itself, we are going to consider the static forces as well as the dynamic forces. Okay, static forces that we are going to consider. Dynamic forces are generated as and when your acceleration is going to change. So dynamically it is going to change. So that force is also taken as input, and static forces also taken as input. Okay, so those are taken into consideration. Then finally you come to an outcome. What is outcome, sir? In outcome kedaikum kana?
Output, sir.
What output? It is nothing but a design of mechanism. Okay, inge da design complete agudhu. Okay,
Yes, sir.
Don't think that inge synthesis na it is another name is design only. Okay, don't think that the synthesis pannanune design mudinjichu solla kudadu. Here we are going to concentrate only the length of the links. எதுக்குன்னா மோஷன், அதாவது இந்த லென்த் இருந்துச்சுன்னா எவ்வளோ டிஸ்டன்ஸ் கவர் ஆகும், எவ்வளோ வெலாசிட்டி போகும். ஸோ அதுக்கெல்லாமே வந்து லென்த் மட்டும்தான் முக்கியம். ஸோ தட்ஸ் வை வி ஆர் கோயிங் டு கான்சென்ட்ரேட் இன் சிந்தசிஸ் பார்ட் ஆர் டிசைன் பார்ட், only the length will be considered. After completing the dynamic analysis, that is static force analysis, dynamic force analysis, எல்லாம் பண்ணி முடிச்சதுக்கப்புறம் அவுட்புட் கிடைக்கிறது தான் கம்ப்ளீட் டிசைன் ஆஃப் தி மெக்கானிசம். ஓகே, ஹியர் யூ வில் பி டிசைடிங் வாட் மெட்டீரியல் யூ ஆர் கோயிங் டு யூஸ். ஓகே, வாட் மெட்டீரியல் யூ ஆர் கோயிங் டு யூஸ் and what shape you are going to use. For example, you can use a cylinder for one particular case. The cylinder diameter may be 20 mm diameter, 40 mm diameter, or 60 mm diameter. The diameter is going to vary, that is dimension, whereas the shape is going to be the same. So இங்க shape define பண்ணுவீங்க, material define பண்ணுவீங்க, dimensions of all the links. Okay, earlier case only length மட்டும்தான் define பண்ணியிருப்பீங்க. Here all the other dimensions of the exact lengths, breadth, width, all dimensions are defined for the links. So இங்கே தான் உங்களோட complete design வந்து complete ஆகும். Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So in synthesis, here in this particular portion, dynamics you will study in the next semester, fourth semester, that is in the dynamics of machinery. But we are going to wind up the kinematics of machinery with only developing mechanisms. Clear?
Yes, sir.
No. A mechanism, okay. A mechanism is nothing but it transmits and modifies the motion. Okay. So a machine is nothing but it is a mechanism or combination of mechanisms which apart for imparting definite motions to the parts, and also it transmits and modifies the available energy into some kind of desired work. பார்த்தீங்கன்னா ஐசி இன்ஜினில் some energy, petrol, it is in the form of chemical energy. That energy is converted into mechanical energy or motion of for propelling the vehicle. So those will be converted with the help of single slider mechanisms. Okay, hope you understood the meaning for synthesis and analysis. Analysis is nothing but study of motions and forces concerning different parts of the existing mechanism. So we are going to consider displacement, velocity and acceleration in analysis part, and synthesis la design of different part. So different design means we are going to consider only length. So which one should be started first? That is the next question. எது ஸ்டார்ட்? சிந்தசிஸ் பண்ணணுமா அனாலிசிஸ் பண்ணணுமா?
அனாலிசிஸ் பண்ணிட்டு அப்புறம் சிந்தசிஸ் பண்ணுங்க சார்.
Okay, any other interpretation? Any other interpretation? Which one should be started? Synthesis, we have a need, okay, for which we need to develop a mechanism. My question is, which one should be started first, synthesis or analysis?
Synthesis.
Yes, exactly correct. Synthesis பண்ணி முடிச்சதுக்கு அப்புறம் தான் நான் என்ன சொன்னேன், என்ன மெக்கானிசம் யூஸ் பண்ணுவீங்க, உங்களோட ரெக்குயர்மெண்ட்டுக்கு எவ்வளோ லிங்க் யூஸ் பண்ணுவீங்க, என்ன பேர் ஜாயிண்ட் எல்லாம் யூஸ் பண்ணுவீங்க தெரியும். ஓகே, ஆஃப்டர் சிந்தசிஸ். ஓகே, அது முடிச்சுட்டு தான் அந்த மெக்கானிசத்துக்கு we need to analysis the displacement, velocity and acceleration. சிம்பிளி மெக்கானிசம் ரெடிமேடாக இருக்காது, we need to develop a mechanism for requirement. அதுதான் சிந்தசிஸ் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணுறது. ஓகேவா? ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள் இந்த 4 பார் மெக்கானிசம் வந்து விண்ட்ஷீல்ட் வைப்பர் சிஸ்டத்துக்கு யூஸ் பண்ணுறீங்கன்னா இந்த ஃப்ரேமோட லென்த் எவ்வளவு, கிராங்கோட லென்த் எவ்வளவு, கப்ளர் லென்த் எவ்வளவு, ராக்கர் லென்த் எவ்வளவு, தென் வாட் டைப் ஆஃப் இந்த 4 பார் மெக்கானிசம் தான் யூஸ் பண்ணுறங்கிறது டிஃபைன் பண்ணுறது சிந்தசிஸ் தான். தென் ரெண்டுக்கும் என்ன பேர், ஃப்ரேமுக்கும் கிராங்க்குக்கும் என்ன டைப் ஆஃப் பேர் யூஸ் பண்ணுறோம், சிமிலர்லி அதர் லிங்க்ஸ்க்கு என்ன பேர் யூஸ் பண்ணுறோம், என்ன டைப் ஆஃப் ஜாயின்ஸ் யூஸ் பண்ண போகிறோம், எல்லாமே பண்ணுறது சிந்தசிஸ். ஒன்ஸ் அதை முடிச்சதுக்கு அப்புறம் தான் we need to start with analysis for a known input. பார்த்தீங்கன்னா இந்த பாயிண்ட் வந்து ஒரு known input displacement கொடுத்தீங்கன்னா then what is the movement of this particular point C of the rocker or output link, அதை ஸ்டடி பண்ணுறது. அப்புறம் ரேட் ஆஃப் சேஞ்ச் ஆஃப் டிஸ்பிளேஸ்மெண்ட் ஸ்டடி பண்ணுறது, ரேட் ஆஃப் சேஞ்ச் ஆஃப் வெலாசிட்டி ஸ்டடி பண்ணுறதுலாம் நெக்ஸ்ட் ஸ்டேஜ் தான். ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஸ்டேஜ் இஸ் சிந்தசிஸ். ஓகே, எனி டவுட்ஸ்?
Okay.
Any other clarifications you can ask me? Hope the class is clear. Okay, any doubts you can ask me. Don't hesitate to ask doubts. If you want, you can separately post your questions to my mail or any other forum, or you can call me. Okay. If you don't have any doubts, you can leave. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. Sure.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Sure.
Thank you.
Stop பண்ணிடுறாங்க சார்.